He paid for one bride, but 5 women claimed his name. I leaned on the old fence and watched the wind roll across the dry field. The wood creaked under my hand. My ranch looked wide, but it felt empty. I had worked it for years, yet the house was cold, the nights were long, and no voice called my name. Miguel, my ranch hand, spat dust and said, "Boss, you need more than cattle." I frowned. "I have cattle. I have land." He shook his head. "Not enough. A man needs a home. A man needs family." His words burned in me. Home, family. I had none. That night I sat by the fire, staring at the smoke rising. I thought of the letters I had seen in town. Ads for women who wanted husbands. Women who wrote promises of love or at least survival. I thought of one letter. It said, "I will bring peace to your house. I will make your land a home. I sent money. More than I wanted." But I was tired of silence. Weeks later, the stagecoach rolled in. Dust rose around the wheels. People stepped off carrying bags, carrying hope. I stood waiting, heart heavy in my chest. Then I saw her. She stepped down slow, a small bag clutched in her hands. Her dress was plain. Her hair was dark, tied back neat. She looked around, eyes wide but tired. I raised my hand. "Elena?" She nodded. "Yes, are you Sam Carter?" Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Yes, I am." She walked closer. Her shoes were worn thin. Her bag looked light. I thought of all the money I had sent, and I wondered where it went. I tried to smile. "Welcome to my ranch." Her eyes lowered. "Thank you." Miguel coughed behind me. "She don't carry much." I glared at him. "Enough, Miguel." I took her bag. It felt empty, almost nothing. She followed me to the wagon. On the ride back, silence filled the air. My horse snorted. The wheels creaked. I said, "The ranch is big." "You will have space," she nodded. "I don't need space. I only need peace." Her words cut me. Peace. I wanted the same. We reached the ranch near sunset. The sky glowed red, the barn dark against the light. She stepped down and stared at the house. The roof leaned. The paint had peeled. "It's not much," I said, shame crawling in me. She whispered, "It will be enough." Inside, the house smelled of dust and smoke. She walked slow, touching the table, the chair, the walls. "You live here alone?" she asked. "Yes, for years." She looked at me, her eyes deep, hard to read. "Not anymore." I felt something shift in me. That night we sat by the fire. I cooked beans. She ate little, her hands shaking as she held the spoon. I asked, "Are you sick?" She shook her head. "Not sick, just tired." I didn't push more. After supper, I showed her the small room. The bed was clean, though the sheets were rough. "This will be yours," I said. She looked at me long. "And yours?" I hesitated. "If you wish." She smiled faint, almost sad. "We will see." I left her to rest. I sat outside staring at the stars. My chest felt strange. I had bought peace, but what had I really brought into my home? Later that night I heard soft steps. She came into the main room, her dress pale in the firelight. She whispered, "Sam?" "Yes?" She came close, eyes shining. "I will make this a home." My breath caught. Her hand touched mine. Cold, trembling, but her voice was steady. I said, "Thank you." She smiled faint again, but her eyes looked far away, like storms lived inside them. I told myself not to ask. I told myself peace was enough, but deep down, I knew peace never came free. The knock came sharp. I froze. Elena looked at me. "Sam?" she asked softly. I stood slowly. The room felt heavy. Another knock came, harder. I opened the door. A woman stood there. Her eyes burned like fire. Her dress was torn from travel. Her hair whipped in the wind. "You," she said, pointing. "You are my husband." I blinked. "What?" I whispered. Elena gasped behind me. The woman stepped inside. "You promised me first," she said. Her voice shook with anger. Her boots stamped the floor. Elena's face went pale. I felt the air break. "I think you're wrong," I said. "I never saw you before." She laughed bitterly. "Liar, my name is Marisol." She dropped a small bag. "It hit the ground hard. I came across desert," she said. "I carried your promise in my hand." Elena spoke then. "Sam," she whispered. "Who is she?" "I don't know," I said quickly. My heart pounded fast. My mouth went dry. Marisol glared at Elena. "You must be the thief," she said. "You took my place." Elena shook her head. "That is not true," she whispered. "He sent for me." "He paid," Marisol turned to me. "You sent for me first," she said. "You wrote me letters." "You swore." I stepped back, shaking. "I never wrote you," I said. "You've been tricked somehow," Marisol laughed cold. "You think I came for nothing?" She pulled out a letter. The paper was torn and dirty. "This," she said, thrusting it. "Your name, Sam Carter." "Your hand." I grabbed the paper. The letters looked like mine. The words cut deep. "I will send for you. I promise." Elena stared at the page. Her lips trembled. "Sam," she whispered. "Is that your writing?" "It looks like mine," I muttered. "But I never wrote this." Marisol pointed again. "You sent for me," she said. "You made me cross states." "I swear," I said firmly. "I never wrote you." "Someone lied." Elena pressed her hands together. The room spun with tension. Marisol dropped into a chair. Her eyes glistened but stayed hard. "I gave up my home," she said. "I sold my horse. I came." I rubbed my face. This was madness. "Elena," I whispered. "Trust me." She did not answer. She only looked at the floor. Marisol leaned forward. "The town will hear," she said. "They will know Sam Carter betrayed," Elena gasped. Her voice cracked. "Please don't say that." Marisol smirked cold. "They will whisper. They will spit." My chest tightened. This was more than lies. This was my name burning. I tried to speak calm. "Marisol, listen. Someone used me. Someone forged my words." "I did not betray you," she shook her head. "You can't run from this." Her eyes glowed with fury. I stepped closer. "Who gave you that letter?" Her lips pressed tight. Finally she whispered, "A man. He called himself Boone. He told me you were waiting." The name struck me. Boone. I knew that rat. "A gambler. A cheat." "Elena," I said, "this is Boone." She looked up slowly. "You know him?" "Yes," I said firmly. "He lies for money. He ruined me before." Marisol watched me carefully. Her fire softened. "Then he sold me," she said. Silence filled the room. Only the wind outside spoke. Elena finally whispered, "What do we do now?" I had no answer. The weight crushed me. Marisol stood again, her face still hard. "You may not want me," she said. "But I will not leave," Elena cried softly. "You can't stay," she whispered. Marisol crossed her arms. I crossed Miles. "I will stay," I raised my hands. "This ranch is small. It holds one bride." "Not two," Marisol glared sharp. "Then choose," she said coldly. Her eyes burned at Elena. Elena trembled beside me. "Sam, tell her," she begged. "Tell her I am your wife." I opened my mouth. No words came. The knock, the letter, Boone's name. All twisted my heart. Marisol stepped to the door. She looked back once. "You will see me again," she said. "Tomorrow the town will know." The door slammed behind her. Elena broke down. Her hands covered her face. "She will ruin us," she cried. I held her gently. "We will fight this," I whispered. "Boone started this. We will end it." But in my chest fear grew. The town was hungry for whispers, and now they would feast on mine. The church bell rang slow that morning. I walked into the wooden building, dust still on my boots. Elena held my arm, her face pale. Marisol followed close behind, fire still in her eyes. The benches were full. Old men, young wives, restless children. Pastor Jacob stood at the front, Bible in his hand. I sat down, but whispers crawled around me. "He married too," someone said. "He's a liar," another voice added. Elena gripped my hand. "They hate us," she whispered. I shook my head. "They don't know truth," I said. But my voice lacked strength. Pastor Jacob spoke of sin, of promises, of broken trust. Each word cut deep. I bowed my head, shame burning. Then it happened. A woman rose from the back bench. Her black dress was plain, her hair pinned tight. Her eyes were wet, but her voice was strong. "I am Clara," she said. Her words echoed through the wooden hall. "I am a widow." "This man promised me a home too." Gasps filled the church. I froze. Elena let out a small cry. Marisol stepped forward, pointing at Clara. "You lie!" Marisol shouted. "He belongs to me." Clara did not blink. "He wrote me letters," she said. "He said I was safe with him. He said I could bring my boy." The crowd stirred. Voices rose like angry bees. 3 women, someone muttered. Shameful, another hissed. Pastor Jacobs frowned, his eyes heavy on me. Samuel Carter, he said. Is this true? I stood, legs shaking. I never promised 3 women, I said. I paid for 1 bride. Only 1. Clara held up a folded paper. This is his letter, she said. Her hands trembled, but the paper was clear. I reached for it, but she pulled back. Do not touch, she said. Your words are already written, Elena sobbed, covering her face. Marisol cursed under her breath. The church erupted again. Liar! Cheater! Man of sin! I slammed my fist against the bench. Quiet! I shouted. My voice broke, but the noise slowed. I turned to Clara. When did I promise you this? She lifted her chin. Last winter, after my husband died. You said I would not starve. I searched my mind. I remembered her face. Cold nights, soup-lined, tired eyes. I had spoken kindness, nothing more. I said you would not starve, I answered. Yes, she said. You said you would give me a home. Elena gasped again. Did you? She asked me, tears running. No, I said. I offered bread, not marriage. Marisol laughed bitterly. Bread? Marriage? It sounds the same to women with no roof. Clara's lip quivered. You promised safety. My boy waits for me. What should I tell him now? That his hope is a lie? Her words cut deep. My mouth dried. I wanted to defend myself, but the crowd already judged. Pastor Jacobs shook his head. You gave her hope, he said, and hope is a vow before God. Elena turned away from me. Her shoulders shook. Marisol smirked, whispering, Now she knows the truth. The church doors opened wide. Sheriff Morgan walked in, hat low, eyes sharp. What's this noise? He asked. Clara pointed at me. He promised me. He promised them. He makes fools of us all. The sheriff frowned. 3 women? The crowd roared again. 3! 3! I raised my hands. Enough, I said. I never lied. I never wrote marriage vows. Boone sold lies in my name. The sheriff's eyes narrowed. You have proof? No, I said. But I have truth, the sheriff shrugged. Truth means little without paper. Elena stood, her face white as bone. I believed you, she whispered. I thought I was your only bride. You are, I said quickly. But she turned away. Clara sat again, her body shaking. I only wanted a home, she murmured. My boy will starve. The pastor closed his Bible. This church cannot bless your house, he told me. Not until truth is clear. I stood alone, the stairs burning holes in me. 3 women, 1 name. My name, I walked out, boots heavy, sun blinding. The whispers followed me down the street. Shame. Liar. Man of many wives. I stopped in the dust road, chest tight. Elena walked past me, silent tears. Marisol lingered, smirking. Clara stayed in the church, her boy's face haunting my thoughts. The town was against me. Even God, it seemed, had turned his eyes. I whispered to myself, voice broken. How many more will come? The wind gave no answer. But I knew. This storm was just starting. I walked into town with heavy steps. Elena followed me, her eyes down. The streets were full of whispers. Men leaned close and pointed fingers. Women shook heads and hid smiles. I felt the weight of shame. Sheriff Morgan stood near his office. He saw me and crossed his arms. You brought trouble again, he said. I said, I came to end it. He raised one brow and waited. Then Rachel came, walking like fire. Her dress was bright, red like sin. She held a folded paper high. Look here, she shouted to the crowd. This man is my husband, proof. Elena gasped and grabbed my sleeve. I froze when I saw the seal. It looked real, with my name. Rachel waved it like a prize. See, she said. He belongs to me. The crowd pushed closer, hungry for blood. I said, that's false. I never signed. Rachel laughed, her voice sharp as glass. You promised me in the saloon. You held my hand, you swore. I shook my head in anger. That's a lie. I never swore. Sheriff Morgan stepped forward and frowned. Let me see that paper, he said. Rachel placed it in his hand. The sheriff studied every line slowly. He rubbed the corner, testing the seal. Finally, he looked at me hard. This looks real enough, he muttered. My heart sank like stone in water. Elena wept and covered her face. People whispered, 4 wives now, 4. I shouted, I bought 1 bride only. The rest are lies, tricks, and traps. But the words felt weak, Too small. Rachel smirked and moved closer to me. You gave me money that night. You told me to wait for you. I waited, and now I am here. Her hand touched my arm lightly. I jerked away and spat on ground. I gave money for drinks, nothing more. Rachel laughed again, cruel and sharp. You all hear him? Drinks, he says. But I have the paper, see? The sheriff raised his hand for silence. He read aloud the fake marriage words. With my name, I whispered in pain. I turned to Elena, desperate for strength. She whispered, Do you still want me? My chest burned with rage and sorrow. I said, Elena, I never left you. This paper is a chain of lies. But she looked away, tears streaming fast. Rachel smiled, proud like a queen. Sheriff Morgan asked, Where's the witness then? Rachel pointed toward the saloon door. A man stepped out, hat low. It was Elias Boone, the gambler. I saw him sign, Boone said calmly. The crowd gasped, believing the gambler's word. I shouted, Boone lies! He tricks everyone. He sells names, he sells false hopes. Boone shrugged and chewed on a toothpick. Maybe, but today I sell truth. The sheriff folded the paper, slow. I can't prove false yet, he said. But Sam, your name is tangled bad. I clenched fists until knuckles turned white. My name is mine, I said firmly. Rachel laughed and touched the sheriff's arm. Lock him up, Sheriff. He deceived us. The sheriff shook his head, slow. Not yet. Not without more proof, Rachel hissed. Proof is in your hand. Elena fell to her knees, crying. Please, Sheriff, believe him. He's honest. He paid for me, not the others. Her voice shook, but her words carried. The crowd looked at her with doubt. Miguel pushed forward, my ranch hand. He said, Wait, Sheriff, I worked with Sam. He never left the ranch that night. Boone and Rachel are liars, always liars. Rachel slapped Miguel across his face. Shut up, she yelled, her eyes wild. The sheriff grabbed her wrist hard. That's enough, he said with warning. Rachel jerked free and smoothed her dress. You'll all see. He can't escape. I looked around at the crowd. Some faces showed pity, others disgust. Whispers rose like buzzing flies. 4 women now. 4 names. Shame. I felt my ranch slip from me. Sheriff Morgan sighed and handed the paper. Keep this, he told me with care. Prove it false before the court comes. Until then, keep yourself safe, Sam. I folded it with shaking hands. Rachel sneered and walked away slow. Her heels clicked on the wooden boards. Boone followed, laughing under his breath. Elena clung to me, eyes red. I whispered, We will fight this. She said, How many more will come? I had no answer, only silence. The crowd broke apart, muttering curses. The sheriff returned to his office door. Miguel stood beside me, jaw tight. Sam, he said, Boone plays a game, but games like his end in blood. I nodded, knowing he spoke true. This was not the end, not close. The war for my name had begun. That night we sat by the fire. Elena stared into the flames, empty. Do you believe me still? I asked. She turned slowly, her voice soft. I believe, but I'm afraid. I held her hand, warm and trembling. Fear won't break us. Lies won't win, but inside my heart shook with dread. 4 women now. 4 names, 1 man, and the truth felt far away. I was mending the fence when I heard steps. Soft, uneven steps dragging in the dust. I turned and saw her, a woman, barefoot, thin as a shadow. Her dress was torn, her hair wild. She stopped, breathing hard, then whispered, You, Sam Carter? I froze, my hands tight on the post. Yes, I said. I'm Sam Carter, she nodded once. Her eyes held fear. They told me, You buy me. The words hit me like a bullet. Elena gasped behind me. Marisol cursed under her breath. Clara looked away, her lips tight. Rachel laughed sharp. Oh, another one. Another bride. The woman's hand shook. She lifted her sleeve. Scars, long and deep, burned into her skin. They chained me. They beat me. They say, Sam Carter, pay for me. I felt my chest twist. My name again. My cursed name dragged into lies. No, I whispered. I never paid for you. But my voice sounded weak even to me. Elena stepped forward. Who told you his name? She asked. The woman looked down. Men at camp. They sell women, they say. Rich rancher want wife. I swallowed hard. Boone. It had to be Boone. He had sold my name before. Now this, another woman. Another wound. What's your name? I asked softly. She blinked, then said, Ayumi. My name, Ayumi. Her voice shook, but her eyes shone strong. She looked at me like I was her last hope. Rachel folded her arms. Sam, your name spreads like fire. How many wives you hiding?
Enough!
I shouted, my fists tight. I looked at Ayumi. I never asked for you, but I see your pain. Elena touched my arm. She needs help, she whispered. She is broken like I was, Marisol sneered. Help? You can't even keep us straight. 5 women now? 1 rancher? This is madness. Clara's eyes softened on Ayumi. She's not lying. Look at those scars. Clara reached out and touched Ayumi's wrist. Ayumi flinched, then let her. I felt torn apart inside. One part of me wanted to deny it all, to scream that this was not my fault. But another part saw her, barefoot, bleeding, alone. You're safe here, I said finally. Ayumi's eyes filled with tears. She whispered, Safe? Yes, safe, Rachel scoffed. You'll save them all, Sam? Even ghosts and strays? What will the town say now? I stared at her. I don't care what the town says. This woman was lied to. And I won't send her back, Elena nodded. You did not buy her, Sam, but you can free her. Ayumi's lips trembled. Her voice was broken but clear. You give me life? I swallowed hard. I will try. The air grew heavy. 5 women. 5 claims. My name tangled in lies. And now Ayumi, the sun dipped low. Miguel came from the barn, wiping sweat. He stopped when he saw her. Another one? He muttered. I nodded, my throat dry. He shook his head. Boone plays deep. He wants you ruined. My chest burned. Boone. Always Boone. But Ayumi's eyes cut through my anger. She was no scheme. She was flesh. And she carried pain I could not ignore. I turned to the others. She stays, I said. Marisol's jaw clenched. Rachel spat in the dust. Clara bowed her head. Elena squeezed my hand. Ayumi looked at me, trembling. They told me, no freedom, only chains. Only Sam Carter. Her voice cracked. But you say, safe. Yes, I whispered. You are free here. Not mine, not bought, but free. The night came fast. We lit the fire in the yard. Ayumi sat close, her bare feet blistered. Elena brought her bread. Clara brought a shawl. Marisol stayed back, her eyes hard. Rachel rolled her eyes, but stayed near. Ayumi ate slow, tears on her cheeks. She whispered, thank you. I nodded, my chest heavy. But inside I asked myself, how much more could I take? How many wounds, how many lies? 5 women. 1 ranch, 1 name, my name. I stared into the fire. The flames danced like Boone's smile, and I knew this was not over. The whispers started before sunrise. I walked into town, and heads turned. Men spat in the dust. Women whispered behind hands. I heard the words clear as bells. Liar. Cursed. 5 wives. No honor. I clenched my fists and kept walking. My boots struck hard against the boards. Elena walked close beside me, her hand cold on my arm. She leaned in and whispered. Do not listen, I whispered back. I cannot stop hearing. At the general store, old Mrs. Harlow glared. She said loud enough for all, a man who plays with women should not play with bread and milk. Laughter broke out around me. My face burned hot. Elena squeezed my hand, but her eyes lowered. We left without buying. On the street, Pastor Jacob stepped in front of me. His Bible shook in his hands. Sam, he said, truth is a fire. Do you carry it or do you carry smoke? I carry only my name, I answered. But now it is broken, the pastor frowned. Then mend it, before the town burns with you. I walked past him. Elena's lips pressed tight, but her silence said more than words. By evening, I reached the saloon. Miguel, my ranch hand, pulled me aside. Don't go in, he warned. Voices are wild inside. They speak of your women. They say fights are brewing. I pushed his hand off. If they speak, I will hear. If they fight, I will face it. I stepped into smoke and noise. The piano stopped. Cards froze midair. Every eye turned to me. Rachel, the saloon girl, leaned on the counter. She waved the paper, that cursed sheet with my name. Here he is, she said. The man who promised all of us the world. Who gave us dust instead, men shouted. Fraud. Coward! Cheater! I shouted back. I promised nothing to her. That paper is a lie! Rachel smirked. Sheriff thought it looked real. The sheriff sat in the corner. He raised his glass but said nothing. A man at the table rose, his fists ready. You dishonor women. You dishonor this town. I stepped forward. I dishonor no one. Lies dishonor me. His punch came quick. It cracked my jaw. Elena screamed. Stop! I staggered but swung back. My fist landed on his cheek. He fell into the table. Glass shattered. The room exploded in shouts. Men grabbed bottles, chairs, anything. A fight spilled across the floor. Rachel laughed. See? He brings only fire. Miguel burst in, pulling men off me. Back away! He shouted. The sheriff finally stood. Enough! He roared, firing his gun into the ceiling. Smoke and dust rained down. Silence dropped heavy. Sit down or spend the night in my jail, he growled. Men dropped chairs. The fight stopped, but eyes still burned holes in me. I wiped blood from my lip. Elena pulled my arm. Her voice shook. Do you still want me? Her words cut deeper than fists. I looked at her pale face, her trembling mouth. My throat closed. I could not answer. We left the saloon. The street was quiet but heavy. The sky glowed red with sunset, like fire behind clouds. Elena walked slow. She said, they all hate you. Even if you are true, they hate you. I nodded. Yes, hate is easier than truth. She stopped and faced me. So tell me the truth. Do you still want me? I opened my mouth, but no words came. My heart beat fast. My mind burned with betrayal, lies, and shame. She searched my face. Tears filled her eyes. Your silence is my answer. No, I said quickly, reaching for her. It is not silence. It is fear. Fear of me? Fear of losing you, I said. Her tears fell. She pressed her hand to her chest. Then fight for me. Not with fists. With truth. Her words struck deep. That night, whispers still moved like snakes in the dark. At the ranch, Miguel sat with me by the fire. You cannot hold 5 women, he said flat. I never wanted 5, I said bitterly. Then choose one, or lose all. The town will not wait forever. I stared at the flames. I don't know if she will stay, even if I choose her. Miguel poked the fire. She asked if you still want her. You gave no answer. I rubbed my head. Because my answer is weak. Then make it strong, he said. Or you will be alone again. Elena came out of the dark, her face soft in firelight. She sat across from me, her hands folded tight. Sam, she whispered, I left my home for you. I carried only a bag and a hope, but now I carry shame. Her voice shook, but her eyes were steel. If you do not want me, say so. I will walk away. If you want me, stand before all and say it. Do not hide. Do not fear. I swallowed hard. My heart thundered. I want you, I said at last. But the lies choke me. She leaned closer. Then cut through them, or I will drown with you. I took her hands in mine. They were cold but strong. Tomorrow I will speak. I will face them all. Her lips curved faint, the smallest smile. Then maybe I can stay, the fire cracked. The night held us. Whispers filled the town. Fights filled the saloon. But inside, her words echoed louder than all. Fight with truth. I went to the saloon at noon. The room smelled of smoke and sweat. Men laughed and threw dice. I saw Elias Boone at the table. He wore a cheap suit and gold ring. His eyes met mine and he smiled. I walked up and sat opposite him. You are Elias Boone? I asked. He looked at me slow. Yes, he said. Who wants to know? My name is Sam Carter, I said. You use my name, I said flat. He shrugged his shoulders like a man. Your name bought me gold, he said. I felt the heat in my chest. You lied, I said. He laughed. I sold hope, he said, for coins and papers. You forged my name, I said. He tipped his glass toward me. So what, he said. People paid. I stood up quick. You sold women my name, I said. He raised both hands calm. I sold them dreams, he said. You destroyed lives, I said. He put his hand near his coat. I stepped forward fast. You touch your gun? I asked. He smiled thin. You think so? You lied to them, I said again. He leaned back, cold and calm. People buy lies every day, he said. You made them believe in a future. You made them give money, I said. He shrugged. That is business, he said. A man near us spat. Sam, don't make trouble, he warned. I ignored him. I saw Elena then. She stood in the door, pale. She looked at Elias like steel. You sold my sister, she said low. Elias blinked and drank fast. What sister? He said with a grin. Elena, I said. You sold her too. He looked right at me then. You bought one bride, he said. I sold 5, he said loud. The saloon went quiet like a grave. Men stopped cards. Chairs scraped wood. I felt every eye on my back. "How many names did you sell?" I asked. He counted on his fingers, slow. "1," he said. "2, 3. "When you sleep, do you dream?" I asked. He did not answer at first. Then he said, "I dream of coins. You call that living?" I asked. He tossed the dice in his hand. "Living is coin and power," he said. "People follow it. They fall for it." I leaned in close to him. "You used my name on papers," I said. He bared his teeth like an animal. "You bought me a better life," he said. "You took money and left women," I said. "It was easy," he said. "They wanted hope." A woman in the corner cried soft. Her hands held a paper tight. "Elena," she whispered. "They tricked me." I looked at her face and then down. The paper had my name in print, my name in black ink on the page. I felt bile rise in my throat. "You signed their lives away?" I asked Elias. He shrugged. "I signed what I had." "You used my name like a brand," I said. He stared at me, hard and small. Then his face changed a little. "Why you care?" he said. "You have your land." "I paid for a bride," I said low. "She came here broken," I said. "She trusted my name," I said. Elias looked away for a moment. Then he spat. "Names are words," he said. "Words die when coins come." He laughed at his own joke. I felt the fire grow in me. "You are a coward," I said. He blinked slow. "Coward?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "You hide with money. You slug men and run at night. You make promises you will not keep." He pushed his chair back hard. "I did what I must," he said. I stepped out into the sun. My blood still boiled inside. I wanted to break every bone. Instead, I sat on the porch step. I breathed deep for a long time. Elena came and sat beside me. "You found him?" she asked. "Yes," I said. He used my name. She put her hand on my arm. "I thought I was alone," she said soft. "You were never alone," I said. We spoke low and blunt. "She sold promise for silver," Elena said. "She stole a life for coin," I said. "Will you fight him?" she asked. "I will," I said. "But not blind." "How then?" she asked. "We will gather proof," I said. "We will show the papers to judge. We will show the town his face. And his hands," she said. Her eyes burned and did not fear. I looked at the saloon door. "Elias will not run forever," I said. "He thinks he is smart," Elena said. "He thinks my name is just ink." "He's wrong," I said. The next day I went to the judge. Miguel came with me steady. "You sure?" he asked. "I have to try," I said. We knocked and asked to enter. The judge looked up slow. "What brings you here, Sam?" he said. I put papers on his desk. "These show lies and fake names," I said. He read each page careful. "This is serious," he said. "We need witnesses," Miguel said. "Bring them tomorrow," the judge said. We walked through the street calling. Women came with papers and tears. They told the judge all truth. He wrote it down slow and firm. "I will call a hearing," he said. "It is the law," he said. I felt small but steady then. We had proof now to show. At night, Elena came to me quiet. "Do you think the judge will help?" she asked. "I hope," I said, voice low. "If not," she said, "we will not give up." We sat by the barn and planned. The stars watched us like old guards. I promised her then, soft and sure. "I will get your name back," I said. She held my hand tight. We waited for dawn with hope. The night air felt heavy. The ranch was too quiet. Even the horses stamped nervously. I stood near the barn. Elena whispered, "They are coming." Her hand shook in mine. I said, "Stay inside." "Lock doors," she said. "No, I stay." The crunch of boots echoed. Men stepped from the shadows. Their rifles glowed under moonlight. Elias Boone walked in front. He smiled like a devil. "You stole my brides," he said. I spat. "You stole my name." The women gathered behind me. Marisol held a lantern high. Clara crossed herself and prayed. Rachel cursed under her breath. Ayumi trembled, clutching her shawl. Elena whispered, "Please, no blood." Boone laughed at her fear. "You wanted one bride, Carter?" He raised his revolver slow. "Well, I sold you 5. The men behind him chuckled. I felt my blood boil. "This ends tonight," I shouted. Guns flashed in the dark. The barn wall splintered fast. I pulled Elena to cover. Bullets screamed through the yard. Rachel screamed, "We'll all die." Miguel ran from the stable. He tossed me my rifle. "Fight, boss!" Miguel shouted loud. I fired at Boone's men. One dropped into the dirt. Another fled behind a wagon. The women cried, clutching each other. Smoke filled the night sky. The smell of gunpowder choked me. Boone aimed straight at me. His grin never left his face. "You think truth matters here?" He fired, grazing my arm. I fell against the fence. Blood warmed my sleeve, quick. Elena screamed my name loud. I lifted my rifle again. My hands shook but held. "I won't let you win." Boone laughed, stepping closer slow. "You're nothing, Carter. Just dust." He fired again, missing close. The bullet tore the barn door. Miguel shot back with rage. Another of Boone's men fell. Marisol grabbed a dropped pistol. She fired, hitting one more. Her eyes blazed like fire. "I won't die a liar," she screamed. The yard turned into hell. Bullets, screams, and fire everywhere. Ayumi crawled to me fast. She pressed cloth to my wound. Her eyes begged me. "Fight." I said, "I still fight." Boone roared, "Kill them all now." His men rushed with knives. Miguel swung a shovel hard. Clara hit one with stone. Rachel smashed glass on another. The women fought beside me. Not brides, not lies. Fighters. I stood, bleeding but strong. "Boone!" I shouted across smoke. "Face me! Man to man!" Boone sneered, stepping forward slow. His revolver raised at me. "You're finished, Carter," he spat. The world slowed down then. I saw Elena's pale face. I saw Rachel's tears fall. I saw Ayumi clutch hope. And I saw Boone's eyes. Cold. I pulled the trigger fast. My bullet struck his chest. Boone staggered, shocked and silent. His gun dropped in dust. He gasped, "My gold! My game!" Then he fell into dirt. The yard went quiet suddenly. His men dropped their weapons. Smoke curled into the sky. The women stared in silence. Elena whispered, "It's over now." But I shook my head. No, truth still costs blood. Sheriff Morgan rode in late. He saw bodies in dirt. He saw Boone dead cold. He said, "What happened here?" I said, "Lies met their end." He nodded, grave and slow. "Justice comes hard in these lands." The women gathered around me. Clara whispered, "God saved us." Rachel wept, "We saved ourselves." Marisol said, "I wanted truth." Ayumi whispered, "You gave me life." Elena pressed my hand tight. She whispered, "You gave me hope." I looked at them all. 5 women, 5 claims, 5 lives. Boone was dead, but scars stayed. The ranch was blood-soaked ground. The truth had burned deep. I whispered, "This isn't peace." Elena whispered back, "It's survival." I turned to Sheriff Morgan. "Take Boone's body to town. Tell them the lies are buried." The sheriff nodded, spitting dust. "You'll have to answer still." I sighed, feeling weight heavy. I already paid the price. That night fire still glowed. We buried Boone near the creek. No marker, no prayer, just dirt. The women stood around silent, each of us broken, yet alive. I whispered into the dark, "This war isn't finished yet, but for now, the truth lived." And Boone did not. The dust settled over the ranch yard. Smoke rose from the barn. Gun shells lay on the ground. My ears rang from the gunfire, but silence was louder now. The sheriff stood tall, holding iron cuffs. He shouted, "Drop the guns! It's over!" His deputies rushed forward, tying Boone's men. Boone himself groaned, bleeding in the dirt. I stared at him, my fists shaking. "You used my name," I whispered. Boone smirked, blood on his lips. "And you let them believe," he said. Sheriff kicked him, pressing him down. "You'll rot in jail, gambler," he growled. The women stood apart, silent, broken. Elena clutched her dress with trembling hands. Marisol glared at me, eyes burning fire. Clara wiped her tears, her body weak. Rachel's fake paper was torn and useless. Ayumi stood barefoot, clutching her shawl tight. Pastor Jacobs walked slowly into the yard. His voice carried weight heavier than smoke. "Sam Carter," he said, pointing at me. "The town saw chaos. Now bring truth. You must choose who stands at your side." My chest tightened, and my breath shook. The sheriff turned, nodding with firm eyes. He said, "They all claimed your name. Now you must claim only one." The crowd that had gathered leaned closer. Whispers passed like fire through dry grass. "Who will he pick?" a voice said. "He owes the widow," another answered fast. "No, the saloon girl proved her claim. But the foreign woman needs protection too." I swallowed hard, staring at the ground. My boots pressed into the bloody dust. My name had been sold and twisted, but now it was mine to take. Elena stepped forward first, her voice soft. "I came when you called for me. I cooked, I worked, I prayed beside you. I never lied, Sam. I only loved." Her tears fell, wetting her pale cheeks. Marisol pushed past her with fierce anger. "You promised me before her," she shouted. "Do you forget the letters you sent? I left my family to be yours." Her voice cracked, but her fire stayed. Clara stood quietly, holding her shawl tight. "I lost my husband, my child, my home. You said I could begin again here. I only wanted peace beside your fire." Her lips trembled with each broken word. Rachel laughed, waving her hands with spite. "I had the paper. The town saw. You all mocked me, called me liar. But Sam, you need me most. I know your debts, your secrets, your name," Ayumi whispered softly, almost afraid to speak. "They sold me. They lied to me. But when I came here, you helped. You gave me water. You gave me hope. Sam, I want to stay." The silence grew heavy, crushing my chest. 5 women, 5 stories, 5 broken truths. Each carried pain. Each carried betrayal. And yet they all looked to me. Miguel, my ranch hand, spat in anger. "Enough lies," he said. "You owe no one. Pick the one who stayed when fire came." "The one who held ground, not paper." Pastor Jacobs folded his hands, nodding. "Wisdom speaks, Sam. The town watches you." The sheriff crossed his arms, waiting. I walked to the center of the yard. My hands shook as I raised them. My name was stolen. My ranch burned. But my heart still beats and it knows. I only choose the one who stayed. The one who stayed when all burned. Elena gasped, her hand to her lips. Clara looked down, tears streaming quietly. Rachel cursed under her breath, stepping back. Marisol clenched her fists, rage in her eyes. Ayumi lowered her head, whispering a prayer. I pointed toward Elena, my voice steady. She stayed when the barn burned down. She worked. She fought. She prayed with me. When all the lies spread, she held fast. She is my choice. She is my wife. Elena fell to her knees, sobbing hard. She cried, "I thought you would leave me. I thought lies had broken your heart." I lifted her up, holding her close. "You never left. That is the truth," Marisol shouted, her voice like sharp knives. "You'll regret this, Sam Carter. You'll regret." She stormed away, boots striking the dust. Clara walked past me, eyes sad but soft. "May peace find you, Sam," she whispered low. She disappeared into the gathering crowd slowly. Rachel ripped her torn paper in rage. "You chose wrong," she spat. "You'll pay." Then she vanished, swallowed by the saloon lights. Ayumi stepped forward, her eyes still kind. She said, "I understand. I still thank you. You gave me water when I was dust." I bowed my head, touched her hand. "You will always have my respect, Ayumi." The sheriff ordered Boone dragged to jail. The deputies led him away in chains. Boone's laugh echoed, bitter and sharp, fading. Pastor Jacobs raised his hands to the sky. "Justice came through fire," he said firmly. "Now rebuild. Now live true to your name." The crowd slowly broke apart in silence. Some nodded at me with respect again. Others shook their heads, not yet convinced. Elena leaned on me, her voice shaking. "Sam, we can start again now." I kissed her forehead, my eyes wet. "Yes, we can. We must." The stars filled the night above us. The ranch was broken but still alive. My name was scarred but still mine. And in Elena's hand, I felt hope. The ranch smelled of smoke for weeks. I hammered nails into the new barn wall. My hands ached, but the sound gave peace. "Hold it steady," she said behind me. I smiled. "You think I can't handle this?" She laughed softly. "You always need help." Her laugh healed more than the barn did. We worked side by side in the dust. The cattle returned. The fences stood tall. At night, silence came with the fire. She sat close, eyes tired but alive. I whispered, "Do you regret staying here?" She shook her head. "No, this is home." Home. The word tasted new in my mouth. I thought of the others who left. Elena's tears, Clara's shame, Rachel's lies, Ayumi's broken voice. All gone like shadows, only she remained. Not perfect, not quiet, not safe, but real. The town watched us rebuild in silence. Pastor Jacobs nodded once, no word spoken. Sheriff Morgan tipped his hat at me. Even Miguel, my ranch hand, muttered, "Respect, respect." A word I thought I lost forever. I had bought a bride but gained storms. I had been cursed, mocked, betrayed, and scarred. Now the same town whispered, "He survived." She carried seeds in her apron one day. "What are you doing with those?" I asked. She smiled. "Planting for tomorrow." We knelt in the field, burned but waiting. Her fingers dug the soil with care. "This land holds more than fire," she said. "It holds promise, promise." Another word that once felt broken. I pressed my hand over hers. "Then let's keep it," I whispered. She turned her face up to me. "Do you trust me now?" she asked. I nodded. "I trust you more than myself." At night, she sang softly by the fire. Not the proud voice of the past, not the false songs of survival, but a quiet tune, warm and simple. Her head rested on my chest. "You gave me life," she whispered. I kissed her hair. "You gave me mine," I answered. I thought of my name then. A name used by liars and cheats. A name written on papers I never signed. A name dragged through the dirt of betrayal, but now it was mine again. Not because the town forgave me. Not because the law cleared me. But because she stayed. She stayed when lies burned down the walls. She stayed when bullets tore through the air. She stayed when even my faith cracked. I whispered, "Do you fear tomorrow?" She shook her head. "Tomorrow is only another chance to live." I smiled in the firelight. Her blind eyes lifted to the sky. Her scars caught the glow like stars. Her hand pressed against my chest. I thought of the letter I once wrote. The words, "I want peace. I want a bride." Peace never came. A simple bride never came. Instead, I found storms, betrayal, fire, and war. But also love. Love born in ashes. Love that carried scars and sang softly. Love that made my name whole again. The barn stood. The field grew. The ranch breathed like it had never before. Children's laughter echoed in my mind. "Not real yet, but maybe one day." "Sam," she said gently. I looked down. She smiled, faint but true. "You are not cursed." I held her tighter. "No, I am blessed. With you." And so the night passed, warm and still. The ranch was ours. The future was ours. And my name, once broken, was mine again.